And it looked like the Indiana Fever front office is caught red-handed, lying to reporters.
The Caitlin Clark injury situation is officially a mess because not only is there not more clarity, there's more confusion about what her timeline could be.
Looks like Stephanie White just tried pulling off the weakest magic trick in WNBA history, lying about Caitlin Clark's injury right in front of everyone and thinking no one would notice. Spoiler alert, the receipts are already out there. Did she seriously believe fans wouldn't connect the dots? So let's cut through the noise. Who do you trust less right now? The Fever's beat
return to the court. It was said on the ESPN broadcast on August 12th that Stephanie White hoped Clark would be back in practice this week. Open portion of practice, Clark is not seen. And Stephanie White afterwards said it's status quo until Clark is back at practice. Well, what changed? Right? I know there's never been a direct timeline, but all the signs seem to point in the direction of Clark returning soon. Even Natasha Howard saying, "See you soon, CC." Now it's like, wait and see.
Reporters or the front office? Because honestly, both are looking shady. Stephanie White, head coach of the Indiana Fever, thought she could stroll into the media room, toss out a neat little story about Caitlin's injury, and fans would just nod along. Problem is, her timeline doesn't add up. And when the math isn't mathing, fans start asking questions. Here's the version they're selling. Caitlin Clark got hurt.
And there's further information coming out that Clark suffered a bit of an ankle injury in the midst of her recovery process. Did that hinder her return? One reporter saying yes, another reporter is saying no. Bottom line is, we need to know a little bit more. We don't need Caitlin Clark's in-depth medical report, but it's fair for fans to wonder if the Fever and the league's biggest star is going to return to the floor this season or what the chances are. And she's been out of action for 5 weeks, so it's not as if some patience hasn't been expressed.
During a workout around August 7th. Nice and tidy, right?
I feel like they were lying about her injury as far as like the severity of it. I think it's a really bad injury. I think when they rushed her back that one time, I think she hurt it even more and it pushed the timeline back.
Trying to come back and come back quickly. She needs to make sure that she's 100%. Her competitor wants to play. We're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness is the most important thing.
As bad as it might sound, I think it might be like a season-ending level type of injury and they're hoping to get in the playoffs and they can somehow get her during the
tidy. Except fans have footage from that exact day. Caitlin in Phoenix, strutting smooth, Prada bag in hand, not even a hint of a limp. Unless Prada secretly makes orthopedic miracle gear now, that injury on the 7th story is nonsense.
And the craziest thing about this last groin injury with Caitlin Clark is how it's been covered. The day after she had the groin injury, she was listed as day-to-day. And then a couple weeks after that, then she was listed to being out indefinitely. Now, ESPN had August 12th as the circled return date for Caitlin Clark to get back onto the court. And just yesterday, she was listed as a game time decision for today's game against the Dallas Wings. And then after practice yesterday, Coach Stephanie White basically came out and said, no, Caitlin Clark hasn't even been practicing. So they changed it from a game time decision to her being out. This has been all over the place, and I get it to a certain extent. The fans, the media does not need to know every little thing that's going on with Caitlin Clark's injuries, especially a star player like that. We will never know all the information, nor should we know all the information, and that's actually good for Caitlin. It protects her for when she does come back on the court. She can't be targeted. Teams can't use a certain injury or ailment against her if people don't really know what is going on. But the reporting of her timeline in general, there has been no rhyme or reason to what has been shared about.
And instead of fixing the story, White and her PR crew doubled down. Reporters like Scott Agnes jumped in too, retelling the injury saga with a grin like it was a comedy routine. My guy, you're laughing? While reporting the biggest star in women's
nonsense is false hope to get people to keep showing up, keep buying tickets. They got us content creators waiting and hoping, hey, they said she might be, this is the empty time. This is the time for practice that she might return. There you see it. Caitlin Clark on the sidelines, not practicing at all. It's done, you guys. It's over. It's over. We just have to accept the fact there will be no more Caitlin Clark this season. It is what it is. It is a wrap.
Basketball is hurt? That's not just bad journalism, it's straight clown behavior. Fans noticed. And now the trust between the Fever, their front office, and the fan base is shattered. Let's not forget, there's actual game footage of assistant coach Brianne January stepping on Caitlin's foot. That's been swept under the rug so the front office can keep pushing their just a bad step in practice script. Which one is it? Because it can't be both. Fans remember the January stomp. Fans remember Caitlin walking fine in Phoenix. The puzzle pieces don't fit the story they're trying to sell. And poor Caitlin, she's stuck repeating what sounds like pre-written lines. I'm working hard, feeling good, just unlucky. It's so scripted it could have been typed up by an intern. Fans aren't buying it. This isn't about bad luck. It's about mismanagement. Here's the bigger issue. Caitlin Clark isn't just any player. She's the face of the WNBA right now. She sells out arenas. She brings in record-breaking TV numbers. If this were the NBA and a coach or staff member jeopardized their top star, heads would roll. But in the WNBA, crickets. Just reporters playing PR mouthpiece instead of asking hard questions. And let's talk about that she needs more muscle narrative. From day one, the Fever's been pushing it. Sure, strength matters, but bulking up that fast? It's a recipe for injury. And what happened? Exactly that. Instead of owning it, they spin the story like Caitlin just tripped. That's not bad luck. That's bad planning. What makes this even uglier is the vibe that some in the Fever camp actually want to tone Caitlin down. She came in lighting up the league, and suddenly she's being pulled back, literally and figuratively. January yanks her away from hyping the crowd, then she conveniently ends up hurt with a sketchy timeline. Sabotage or incompetence either way, it's not a good look. The reality is, fans aren't stupid. It's 2025. We've got cameras, slow-mo breakdowns, and social media receipts. You can't just erase footage or rewrite the timeline. Every contradiction is being cataloged, and when the truth finally breaks wide open, Stephanie White and her media cheerleaders are going to look ridiculous. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark deserves better. The league deserves better, and fans are done being lied to. Either the Fever come clean and start treating her like the franchise cornerstone she is, or they keep digging. And when the truth explodes, the backlash will be historic.